अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः.
Simple living, high thinking. This is the motto of those who directed his glance in the depth of his heart and stepped on the path of self-realization. In order to find out the genuine purpose of our life, let's go to Vrindavan.
The philosophy of Lord Chaitanya is that the Krishna is the only object of worship. And as Krishna is object of worship, similarly his place, Vrindavan, Vrindavan Dham. Those who have visited India, Vrindavan Dham, still, if you go to Vrindavan, without knowing about Krishna, you will at once feel Krishna consciousness. You will set a nice place. So that Vrindavan Dham is also worshipping.
At the very beginning of the founding of the ISKCON, Srila Prabhupada used to tell to the new devotees about the glories of Vrindavan. And these are very important words. Even if you go to Vrindavan without knowing Krishna, you will feel Krishna consciousness.
If you go to Vrindavan without knowing about Krishna, you will at once feel Krishna consciousness. You will set a nice place.
Sometimes people are dissuaded from going to Vrindavan, arguing that the person is supposedly not ready. Unlike the first listeners of Srila Prabhupada, now many devotees chant japa for years and do a lot of service, but at the same time they listen to those who, under various pretexts, even the most plausible ones, do not recommend going to Vrindavan. In this way, they rob themselves. I will quote Srila Prabodhananda Saraswati from Vrindavan Mahimamrita. If he does not instruct me to live in Vrindavan, then he is not my guru, not a well-wisher, not a friend.
So nobody can understand how great is Krishna. That is described in the glory of Krishna. Nobody can understand. Similarly, Vrindavan, Ane Ascharya Vidika. Similarly, land which is known as Vrindavan, it has also got unlimited potential. Still, as I have several times mentioned, if you go to Vrindavan, you will find unlimited potency of spiritual atmosphere. Still, and therefore Lord Chaitanya recommended that Aradha Bhagavan Nirisitanaya Sadhamam Vrindavanam. As Lord Krishna is worshipable, similarly his place, Vrindavan, is as good as Krishna. It is also worshipable. And actually, still in India, if you go to Vrindavan, you will see so many saints and sages are still there, they are worshiping Vrindavan.
Radhe Krishna, Radhe Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Radhe Radhe.
We will start our acquaintance with Vrindavan in the place called Vrindakund. There is a small but very beautiful temple where the deity of Vrinda Devi is worshipped.
Tulasi Krishna Petrushyna Marianna Tulasi
Vrinda Devi is extremely important for all Gaudiya Vaishnavas. She is the goddess of Vrindavan. The word Van means forest, and Vrinda is Yoga Maya, the mystical energy that organizes the meeting of all living beings with Krishna. Thus, Vrindavan is a mystical forest where soul meets God. In Vrindavan, Yoga Maya appears as a beautiful girl Vrinda, who is in charge of the pastimes in Madhurya Rasa and arranges everything for the happiness of Radha and Krishna. In this world, Vrinda manifests as the Tulasi tree.
So, description of Vrindavan. Vrindavan and Radha and Krishna situated there. The Vrindavan, Bon means forest, and Vrinda means Tulsi. Mostly there are Tulsi plants and other trees also, but all the trees are living desire trees, spiritual. So we should not consider Vrindavan as ordinary forest. Here we have got Vrindavan on this planet, that is also not ordinary forest. They are exactly the same Vrindavan as it is Goloka Vrindavan. There is no difference.
Vrindavan is the Vrinda's forest, and that's why Tulasi you can find everywhere.
Vrindayo e Tulasi Devoye Priyayo e Keshavasya cha Vishnu Bhakti Prade Devi Shoitavato e Nama Nama.
There is Krishna Loka, Goloka Vrindavana, the highest spiritual planet of Krishna. This planet has an embassy on earth, Gokula Vrindavana. Vrindavana in the spiritual world is not different from Vrindavana manifested on our planet. Srila Prabhupada taught new devotees to worship Tulasi because Vrinda Devi is very powerful. By her grace, we can be in Vrindavan. That is what the devotees ask every morning during the Tulasi Puja. You fulfill all the desires of those who choose you as their shelter. By showering your mercy on them, you make them residents of Vrindavan.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rāma, Rāma, Hare.
A materially conditioned soul may have many interests, but there is no desire in his heart to serve Krishna in Goloka Vrindavana. To awaken spiritual desires, get in touch with spiritual energy is necessary. In our attempt to reach Krishna, we are like an ant who wants to cross the mountain. So we begin our acquaintance with Vrindavan by praying to the lotus feet of Vrinda Devi.
Bhaktya vihina aparada lakshay shivja sakamadi taranghamadai vipa maitam sharanam prapanna vrinde namaste charanam. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rāma, Rāma Rama, Hare.
Once an American sannyasi asked a 7-year-old girl in Vrindavana, "Would you like to go to America?" The girl answered, "You have spent so much money to come from America to India because you feel bad in America and good in Vrindavan. Why should I leave where I feel good and go where you feel bad?"
बहुत अच्छा है.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
In order to survive in this world, many people work very hard. And in order to relax and gain strength, they go on vacation to warm countries. However, in 2 weeks, they have to return to the hated job. Many people live in childhood dreams and nothing changes over the years. Only the size and price of the toys they play change. But such people no longer have satisfaction and happiness.
It is like the child's crying. The child is crying, asking, Mother, give me that moon. The mother gives a mirror. Here is moon, my dear son. He takes the mirror, he sees the moon. Oh, yes. He has got the moon. Now these rascals are going to the moon planet. Why they have stopped talking anymore? Or they have finished their money, that's all.
They are very curious to know what is going on there.
That means for their childish curiosity they are spending so much money. Let's see the fun. To satisfy their curiosity, and they are spending so much money, and when they are asked that there are so many poverty-stricken countries, help them. No, nobody.
Some people are the public, they're very satisfied. Oh, I'm an American and we have done this, we've gone to the moon, we are so good.
Now, why don't you say, we have gone to Kṛṣṇa Loka, Vrindavan.
Indeed, why not say that we have reached Kṛṣṇa Loka? Please leave all your worries behind and by the grace of Vrinda Devi be transported to the enchanting world of Raja, the place where Sri Krishna spent his childhood. Vrindavan in the spiritual world and Vrindavan on earth are non-different. Therefore, I humbly ask you, please come to Vrindavan. Krishna and Srimati Radharani are waiting for you.
Description of Vrindavan. Vrindavan and Radha and Krishna situated there. The Vrindavan, Bon means forest, and Vrinda means Tulasi. Mostly there are Tulasi plants and other trees also, but all the trees are living desire trees, spiritual. To follow the footprints of the Goswamis, how to search out Krishna and Radha, Vrindavan, or within your heart. That is the process of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's bhajan.
Srila Prabhupada gave us sadhana, a spiritual practice, part of which is the worship of Tulasi Devi. Any person in any country can follow this sadhana given by Srila Prabhupada and progress spiritually. The main thing is to do it consistently. I lived and worked in Seoul. South Korea is a very developed country where everyone is full of desire for worldly happiness. In the mornings, I sang kirtan to glorify Tulasi Devi, and at the beginning it was just a beautiful song with a beautiful melody. and I didn't really focus on the translation. But later on, the meaning of this Tulasi Puja entered into my heart. You fulfill all the desires of the one who choose you as their shelter. By showering your mercy on him, you make him a resident of Vrindavana. Let me also live in the pleasure groves of Vrindavana Dham, and then I can constantly contemplate the beautiful pastimes of Radha and Krishna. By the grace of Tulasi Devi, I've realized the illusory nature of material happiness and the futility of living in Korea. I really wanted to live in Vrindavan, and Tulasi Devi fulfilled my desire. But as long as I'm here only with my body, it is necessary to continue praying and doing service to Tulasi Devi, to Vrindavan, in order to one day be worthy to contemplate the pastimes of Radha and Krishna. I'm currently living in Vrindavan, and I pray that I can do service to Krishna here in Vraja. And I'm also praying that I could get rid of hope for material happiness and always live in Vrindavan.
That is the process of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's bhajan. Feeling of separation, Vipraramba Seva. Just like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, feeling the separation of Krishna. You are falling down on the sea. You are coming out of his rest room, his bedroom, and going out at dead of night. Nobody knew where he has gone. So that was his searching.
Every girl wants to have many different fashionable and beautiful things. Sometimes they are willing to pay $1,000 for a small handbag from a new collection of a well-known brand. However, the best bag for a Vaishnavi is a bag where she carries a treasure. This bead bag looks like a heart, and it resembles the lotus flower. The lotus represents the central planet of the spiritual world, Golok Vrindavan, where Shri Radha Shima Sundar manifest their Rasa Leela, accompanied by beautiful Vraja Gopis. Inside of this bag, Japamala for chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Japamala can be made from different materials, but the best one is a Tulasi Mala. The chanting beads from Tulasi are more favorable than the chanting beads made of precious stones. Japamala consists of 108 beads, and they represent 108 main gopis of Vrindavana. According to the Gaudiya Vaishnava tradition, after the 8 beads we have to tie a string to distinguish them from the rest, because the 8 first beads represent the 8 central gopis of Radha and Krishna. These are Lalita, Vishakha, Chitra, Champakalata, Tungavidya, Indulekha, Rangadevi and Sudevi, the 8 main girlfriends of Radha and Krishna. Make sure to single out these 8 main gopis, because Srila Prabhupada, he didn't chant the beads of his new devotee if he didn't have this string. And the 109th bead represents Radha and Krishna. It is a central bead.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rāma, Rāma Rāma, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rāma, Rāma Rāma.
Tulasi is very fond of Krishna, and Krishna is very fond of Tulasi. With an iPhone, we can call anywhere on this earth. But when we chant Harinam on the Tulasi beads, our call can be sent through the layers of material universe to Golok Vrindavan.
Планета мироздания, бессмертная планета абсолюта, огромнее, чем несколько вселенных. Я тебя мечтаю, Кришна Лока.
Ata Sri Krishna Namadi Namavi Graham Indriyai. With our material senses, we cannot see Krishna. We cannot hear about Krishna's name. But Sevan Mukhehi Jivhado If you begin service through your tongue, how? Chant Hare Krishna. Use your tongue. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rāma, Rāma Rāma. And take Krishna Prasadam. The tongue has got two business. To articulate sound, Hare Krishna, and take Prasadam. By this process, you realize Krishna.
For many people, the easiest way to get in touch with spiritual energy is through eating prasadam. And Srila Prabhupada used to tell his disciples that we have to eat through our way back to Godhead. But how is it possible that the food cooked in this material world ends up on the table of Krishna in the spiritual reality? How does puri and sabji become spiritual prasadam? It is only possible by the mercy of Tulasi Devi. Therefore, we have to put a Tulasi leaf when offering it to Krishna.
Tulasi Krishna Preyoshi Namo Namo.
If a devotee regularly chants the holy name of Krishna, then his heart becomes Vrindavan, where Krishna appears accompanied by his loving associates. And if a heart and mind of a devotee is in Vrindavan, then his body will ultimately appear in holy land of Vraja.
Service of the Lord, then He will reveal Himself to you. Here I am. That is what. So feel separation of Krishna, that like Radharani, as Lord Chaitanya teaches us, and engage your tongue in the service of the Lord. Then one day, when you are mature, you will see Krishna eye to eye. Thank you very much.
আমি শ্রী রাধা গোবিন্দ প্রেমে সদাই জানভাসি।
The Vrindavan, Bon means forest, and Vrinda means Tulsi. Now, here I am sitting in New York, very great, the world's greatest city, so magnificent city. But my heart is always hankering after that Vrindavan. Yes. I am not happy here. I shall be very happy to return to my Vrindavan, that sacred place.
चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः.
Srila Prabhupada used to live in Radha Damodar temple in Vrindavan. I am a beginner devotee, and even I love Vrindavan and feel the mercy of Radha and Krishna in this place. Then how did Srila Prabhupada see Vrindavan? We cannot even imagine. If for me, who don't know scriptures well and who didn't do sadhana bhajan, this place have so much attraction that I don't want to live in any other place, then how attractive was Vrindavan for Srila Prabhupada? He said that he was unhappy in New York and wanted to go back to Vrindavan. But following the instructions of his guru, he taught Krishna Bhakti to the people of the West, experiencing the separation of Vrindavan in his heart.
So in spite of all my difficulties, all my inconveniences, I am here because I am in duty. That is my personal convenience. If I go and sit down at Vrindavan, I shall be very comfortable there, and I will have no anxiety, nothing of the sort, you see. But I have taken all the risks in the old age because I am in duty bound. I am in duty bound. So I have to execute my duty in spite of all my inconveniences. That is the idea.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rāma, Rāma Rāma, Hare Hare.
The miracle of Srila Prabhupada was that he made Vaishnavas out of materialistic Americans. The external sign of a Vaishnava is a Tulasi Kantimala. Kanta means neck and mala means beads. So the word Kantimala means the neck beads. Kantimalas can be made out of different materials, but Vaishnavas wear Tulasi Kantimala to express their devotion to God. Tulasi Kantimala shows that we have a master, Krishna.
Hey Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatapate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute.
In India, many people are afraid to wear tulasi because they know the glories of this plant. If the person eats meat and drinks alcohol, he cannot wear tulasi because this is an offense to Vrinda Devi. So if the person eats meat and wears tulasi, he will suffer greatly. But the reality is the following. For some reason, people are afraid to wear tulasi, but they are not afraid to keep on drinking alcohol, smoke, and eat meat. And if you don't wear tulasi and keep on doing these sinful things, just stop doing them and wear tulasi on your neck. Also, many people are afraid to wear tulasi because they are afraid to be laughed at. Unfortunately, now bhakti is leaving India because many people consider Vedic culture to be something outdated and aspire to Western values. However, due to the preaching of Krishna devotees outside of India, many people become vegetarians, wear tulasi around their necks, chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and regularly visit Vrindavan. Why do you pay attention to what people say? Pay attention to what Krishna will say. If you wear tulasi, you show your devotion to Radha Sundara. And if a bunch of ignorant people of this world cannot understand why you follow the path of bhakti, this is their problem. You shouldn't be worried. They will worry standing before Yamaraja.
Somebody asked me in the family, why these tulsi beads in your neck or your devotee's neck? So I replied, just like a pet dog has got a collar, similarly we are pet dogs of God, we have got this collar. And Yamaraj will understand that he is God's dog. He should not be shot down.
Vrindavan is the forest of Vrinda, so tulasi grows here everywhere. When you come to Vrindavan, you should leave your heart here and get some japamala and tulasi kantimala from here. Many Vaishnavas like to buy japamalas at Radhakund. They are made by local craftsmen and there is a great variety. So be sure to visit this place and get Tulasi Mala in memory of Sri Radhakund. There is one important rule. Before wearing Tulasi Mala, it should be offered to the lotus feet of Krishna. You can ask Pujari for it. Tulasi Devi is a devotee of Krishna and she likes to be offered to the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. And when you wear Tulasi after that, obtain the right mood. O you dear Shri Krishna, O Tulasi beads, I place you on my neck. Please make me dear to Shri Hare. Just as materialistic people decorate themselves with gold and jewelry, Vaishnavas decorate themselves with Tulasi. And of course, Tulasi is much more valuable than gold, and that's why sometimes there are disputes between Vaishnavas. Renowned sadhus say that framing Tulasi in gold is an insult. The same way, to repair golden bracelet with a tin is impossible. From the other side, some people say that framing Tulasi in gold is paying respect to her. One way or another, just wear Tulasi on your body, and this is the way how to attract Krishna, because Tulasi is very dear to Krishna, and by this way you can easily achieve him. When Srila Prabhupada went to America and found out that there is no Tulasi growing there, he was very upset. Following Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he went to the West to preach Raja Bhakti, love for Krishna, which lives in the hearts of Rajavasis. Vrinda Devi is the goddess of Vrindavan, so being in touch with Vrinda Devi makes it possible to achieve Rajadham. And that's why Srila Prabhupada wanted his disciples, his devotees, to grow Tulasi in the ISKCON temples.
Vrindayoye Tulasi Devoye Priyayoye Keshavasya Vishnu Bhakti Prade Devi Shoitavatoye Nama Nama.
At the end of this video, I would like to humbly ask you, please come to Vrindavan. Krishna and Srimati Radharani are waiting for you.
Our philosophy is very difficult to understand. Suppose you are giving some medical relief, and if I say, why you should waste your time by giving medical relief, why not give him relief from birth and death? They will laugh. You don't say that you don't give medical relief, but why do you forget the real business?
I had a nice life. I lived in South Korea, worked as a model and traveled a lot. In my life, I've visited 31 countries, and it's hard to surprise me with something. Now I'm singing Kirtan in the ashram at Radhakund, because our real business is to be free from birth, death, old age and illness. I want to obtain Krishna Prem, love for God, but I still have fresh memories of the past, and it's necessary to cleanse my heart of material attachments. Many people ask, how could you change your life 180 degrees? Don't you want to return to the luxury and sweet life? The fact is that I have a sweet life right now. Externally, we live very simply, but internally, I'm much happier than few years ago. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati gave the example of a bee crawling on a jar of honey. It sees the honey but cannot taste it. One must open the jar and taste it, not make logical conclusions about what the honey might taste like. In the same way, many people look at the Vaishnavas living in the holy town and do not understand them. But Krishna lives in the hearts of the devotees and gives them real bliss.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rāma,
Rāma Rāma, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rāma, Hare Rāma, Rāma Rāma, Hare Hare.
In the same way, many people look at the Vaishnavas living in the holy Dham and do not understand them, but Krishna lives in the hearts of the devotees and gives them the real bliss. Vrindavan is not part of the material world. Vrindavan is the forest of Vrinda. Vrinda Devi is the Shakti, the energy that arranges happiness of Krishna. If a person lives in Vrindavan, he has an opportunity to come into contact with this happiness.
Joy Shri Radhe, Baba Radhe Shyam, Radhe Radhe.
Therefore, worship of Vrindavan and Tulasi Devi purifies us from material desires. But it is not so easy to understand. Just as a materialist cannot see God, so he cannot understand divine happiness.
Vivekananda said, what is the use of pouring water in Tulsi? Better pour water in a eggplant shop, you will get some eggplant. Eggplant is also small tree, and Tulsi. So if somebody is pouring water in Tulsi for bhakti, he condenses. Why is wasting time? Pour water in this eggplant. Tomorrow you get to God is fictitious, God's service is rather than sentiment. Do something practical.
Just as we don't talk about neglect in medical care, we don't talk about not watering eggplants. But there are much important things in this life. No matter how we treat this body, it will still die. So it is necessary to think about not only how to treat it, but also how to no longer be born in this material world and not to get this material body. In the same way, it is necessary to grow vegetables. And when we have abundance of food, it is not the highest achievement. A material well-being is just a temporary relief of material suffering. An intelligent person should solve the true problems of life: birth, death, old age, and illness. We need a connection with the spiritual world, and it is possible thanks to Tulasi Devi. So Tulasi necklace should be always on our neck. This is our connection with Vrindavan and Krishna. So please wear Tulasi Mala on your neck right now and wear it until your body is alive.
Nama Nama.
By the mercy of Durga Devi, manifested illusionary energy or Maya, the woman can get beautiful young body. But this body is temporary. Eventually it will get old and die. But by the mercy of Sri Krishna, we can get eternal spiritual body and go to the Golok Dham. That's why we are staying in Vrindavan, doing our bhajan and asking for mercy and serving the Vaishnavas. Now we're at Radhakund. The Mary Matajis are doing their kirtan and bhajan all day long, and that's why I hope that my life will have same direction.
We're all convinced that our only business is to become Krishna conscious.
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
That is the word. We have no other business. But now, we means, we human beings, we have no other business.
When someone comes to the stage of being convinced like that there is no other business, what is that stage called?
That's called Svarupa-siddhi. Jive Svarupa Nitya Krishna Das. This realization that I am eternal servant of Krishna. This day. And from here Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teaching begins. So you have to preach all over the world that you are simply wasting time by so many departments of knowledge. You are so foolish, rascal. Samayeva hi kevalam. Simply wasting time. I think I explained that to the gentleman in the last morning. He said, in 1 hour, 2 hours we should do it. Not 2 hours, 24 hours. Did I not say? Yes. Because that is the only business. We have no other business. Our society is practically demonstrated that this is the only business, and no other business. We therefore do not try even to earn our livelihood. That is the natural instinct of every animal, but we do not try even for that. Is it not?
Transcendental platform.
Yes. Let them see practically. We are not busy how to go to the office, how to the business place. We are not interested. We are simply interested for Mangal Arati, for class, for chanting, dancing, that's all.
Radhe Radhe, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rāma, Hare Rāma, Rāma Rāma, Hare.
This process of devotional service is taught by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Not that very easily we have seen Krishna or seen Radharani and Rasalila. No, not like that. Feel the separation. The more you feel separation from Krishna, you should understand that you are advancing.
Ajnana-timirandasya jnananjana-shalakaya chakshurunmilitam jena tasmai Sri Gurave Namah.
The Vrindavan, Bon means forest, and Vrinda means Tulasi.
By the causeless mercy of Srila Prabhupada, people from all over the world can enter the forest of Vrinda Devi. Through his preaching, everyone can get to Vrindavan. There are so many sacred places in Vrindavan, and now we are at Nidhivan. This is a very special place in Vrindavan where Krishna meets Srimati Radharani at night. Some people say that if you come here at night, you can see Radha and Krishna. Therefore, so that Krishna could safely meet his beloved, no one is allowed here at night. Few times different people climbed over the fence and they said to others that they saw Radha and Krishna. However, the real sadhus, the Goswamis of Vrindavana, the closest associates of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they never said that they saw Radha and Krishna. Because darshan of Radha and Krishna is not just that everyone can have.
They never said, I have seen Krishna dancing with the gopis. Last night I saw. This is Sahajya. This is not mature devotee. This is called, they are called Sahajya. They take everything very cheap. Krishna very cheap, Radharani very cheap. As if they can see every night.
When someone said that you can see Krishna in Nidhuvan or Sevakunja, Srila Prabhupada replied, "Who are you to see Krishna? Krishna Lila is taking place in Aprakat Vrindavan on the spiritual platform, so it cannot be seen with the material eyes." And Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, "Don't try to see Krishna. Live so that Krishna wants to see you." If a person wants to see Krishna, then he has to fully devote himself to devotional service, and then Krishna will show himself.
Hare Krishna, Hare Bol, Hare Krishna.
A devotee should be free from any material desires and fully devote himself to the practice of bhakti. This stage is called Svarupa-siddhi. Although the stage is much more difficult to achieve than to become a dollar millionaire, Srila Prabhupada wanted his disciples to fully surrender to Krishna and achieve this state.
That's called Svarupa-siddhi. Jive Swarup Ma Nitya Krishna Das. This realization that I am eternal servant of Krishna. This day. And from here Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teaching begins.
The teachings of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu start from this stage. One should realize himself as an eternal servant of Krishna. One should do this not only theoretically, but in practice change his life. To do this, you need to follow in the footsteps of the closest associates of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan. Although the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan were perfect, eternally liberated souls, they never said, "I see Krishna." Fully devoting themselves to strict bhajan, they were always crying and searching for Krishna in all corners of Vrindavan.
The Goswamis, they also, when they were in Vrindavan, they never said that I have seen Krishna. Although they are the most perfect, they never said that I have seen Krishna. Their prayers was like this: He Radhe Brajadevi ke chalalite, He Nanda Suna Kutaha. He Radhe, Radharani, He Radhe Brajadevi ke cha. Radharani does not remain alone. He remains always with his friends, Brajadevi, Lalita, Visakha, and other damsels of Vrindavan. So the Goswamis are praying in their mature stage. When they are living at Vrindavan, they are praying in this way: He Radhe Brajadevi ke cha Lalite, He Nanda Suna Kutaha. Where, Radharani, where you are? Where are your associates? Where you are, Nanda Suna, the son of Nanda Maharaj, Krishna? Where you are all? They're searching after.
He Radhe Brajadevi ke chalalite, He Nanda Suna Kutaha, Sri Govardhana Pada Patale Kalindibane Kutaha.
Are you there under the Govardhan hill or on the banks of Jamuna? Their business was crying like this: where you are? Where you are, Radharani? Where you are? Lalita, Visakha, the associates of Radharani. Where you are, Krishna? Are you near Govardhan Hill or on the bank of the Jamuna? Ghosantaviti sarvato brajapure. So throughout the whole tract of Vrindavan, they are crying and searching after them. Khedai Mahabhuvalu, as if madman.
Vande Rupa Sanatana Raghunjagam Sri Jiva Gopalakam.
Vrindavan is the abode of Krishna on earth. Vrindavan is not different from Golok, the planet of Krishna in the spiritual world. Those who want to understand Krishna, they come to Vrindavan and perform their sadhana bhajan here.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rāma, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rāma, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rāma, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna.
Tulasi Krishna Petrushyna.
Tulasi helps a lot in our spiritual practice. She should be treated with the same respect as it is given to the pure devotees of Krishna. A devotee who worships her with faith gets freed from all material suffering. Tulasi Devi never goes back to Godhead because she is always with God, and she came to this planet to render service to Krishna in all temples all over the world, being offered to the lotus feet of Krishna. Vrinda Devi is a goddess who gives benedictions to get Krishna. Due to her, impossible becomes possible. If you want to progress spiritually and hasten the day when you get Krishna Prem, then please come to Vrindavan. Krishna and Srimati Radharani are waiting for you.
Broje Radha Krishna Sheba Pavo Ye O Vilashi. Broje Radha Krishna Sheba Pavo Ye O Vilashi.
So, we have to follow the footprints of the Goswamis, how to search out Krishna and Radharani, Vrindavan, or within your heart. That is the process of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's bhajan.
Unless we are very sincere, we cannot cope with Maya. That is not possible. If you remain a servant of Maya, you cannot conquer over Maya. You must be a very sincere servant of Krishna, then you can come. Otherwise, you may dress yourself like anything, but you are simply Maya's servant. Bhaktivinoda Thakur has sung one, Eutra Kolir Chala. Here is another disciple of Koli. Nake Tilak Golai Mala. He has got tilak on the nose and mala, kanthi also. Sahaj bhajan kocche mamu sangale porer bal. And he has become a Vaishnava by illicit sex. Just like dressed like Rupa Goswami, lion cloth, and but 3 dozen women behind.
Ajnana-timirandasya jnananjana-shalakaya chakshurunmilitam jena tasmai Shri-Gurave Namah.
In any religious tradition, there are many people who try to show their spirituality through external things. However, the level of spiritual consciousness is not determined by the clothes of a renounced person. An actor on the stage can play a role of exalted sannyasi, but after that he changes his clothes and goes back to his wife and indulges in pleasures which are not acceptable for a sannyasi. The clothes of a sannyasi does not make him renounce from this world. And the same way, Tulasi mala on the neck of a person does not make a person a devotee of Krishna. A sentimental person may think that the most important thing is to buy a Tulasi mala, and then Krishna will be obliged to pay attention to him. However, we cannot put a Tulasi leaf on a meat and offer it to Krishna. Krishna loves cows, and this will be offense to Krishna and to Tulasi Devi. Similarly, we cannot sin and live our life as we please and hope for mercy of Krishna. In other words, neither tilak or kantimala can save us, because we are affected by the age of Kali. A person may be a part of a community of devotees, but in reality he might be a Kali Chela. Chela means disciple. We may be among the devotees, but be a disciple of Kali.
Devotees, to become devotee is not so cheap thing. Don't think that because you have got a tilak, you have become devotee. Why do you think like that? That Patu Thagre, you are Kolir Chala, Nake tilak, Gola Mala. Here is another follower of Koli. He has got tilak and mala. Sahaj bhajan kacchen mamu sangale porer wala. He is worshipping bhajan, taking another's wife. Sahaj bhajan kacchen mamu sangale porer wala. Eutra at Kolicha. Here is a servant of Koli. Simply he has changed his dress with tilak and mala. If you take tilak and mala and do all nonsense things, then you are not a devotee. You are called Chala. So become a devotee is not so easy.
When the disciples of Srila Prabhupada glorified him by saying that he was a great devotee, he humbly replied that a Vaishnava is a very high level, and he is only trying to be a Vaishnava. Of course, it was the manifestation of his humility. But by doing so, he showed us that to become a devotee is not such an easy thing. On the other hand, bhakti is an easy path, but it's not so easy to follow it. Srila Prabhupada used to say, to do bhakti, you should take beads and chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rāma, Rāma Rāma, Hare Hare. Nothing complicated, it's easy. But Srila Prabhupada said, it's not so easy to do it. We chant japa on the Tulasi beads because Vrinda Devi is the goddess who gives blessings to achieve Krishna. We need her help. Without her, it's impossible to achieve anything in our spiritual life, because it's impossible to perform spiritual activities by material senses. But with her help, impossible becomes possible. When we offer food to Krishna, we put a Tulasi leaf on it, because Tulasi have a Shakti to deliver this offering to Krishna in Golok. Krishna accepts this Tulasi leaf and what is under it. In the same way, we chant our japa on the Tulasi beads, and Tulasi Devi delivers our calling to Krishna. We live in her forest, Vrindavana, and by her grace, Krishna can turn his attention to us. Krishna accepts Tulasi's love for him, and at the same time, the service of those on whom Tulasi, Vrinda Devi, showers her mercy. Therefore, in Vraja, you can see how the Vaishnavas love Tulasi and render respect to her, because she leads to Krishna. Her influence in our life cannot be overestimated. She helps to call for Krishna. And this is clearly seen in the example of Advaita Acharya. Advaita Acharya lived in Navadvip. And when he looked around, he saw people ignoring the path of bhakti and worshipping Shri Krishna. And then he swore that he will call out for Krishna to come to this earth. And to do this, he asked the help of Tulasi Devi. Advaita Acharya remembered the verse from the Gautamiya Tantra, which says, Shri Krishna, who is extremely kind to his devotees, is ready to give himself to anyone who offers him just a leaf of Tulasi and a handful of water. Then Advaita Acharya started to worship the Shalagrama Shila, pouring the water from Ganges and offering the flowers of Tulasi, Tulasi Manjari. He called out to the Supreme Lord to come to this earth, and as a result, Sri Krishna appeared on this earth as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The Lord heard the calling of Advaita Acharya because, as he said, he is ready to pay attention to the one who offers him even only a tulasi leaf and a handful of water. Advaita is called Acharya because by his example he shows in which way we can attract Krishna. And one of these activities is offering a tulasi leaf to Krishna.
Yes, give little water and tulsi and flower, that's all. It's a very difficult job. Then everyone can do it. Patram pushpam phalam toyam yomi bhakta. No, simply, there is Advaita Prabhu, he simply offered Ganga Jal and Tulsi to please the Lord to come. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came. This is, there is no difficulty at all. Because we simply misuse our intelligence, misuse our opportunity, there is trouble. Otherwise there is no difficulty. What is the difficulty? Tulsi Patra you can have, and little water offer to on the lotus feet of Krishna, and pray, give me intelligence so that I can serve you nicely. And he gives intelligence. Tesam satadujuktāna. If you are continually giving tulsi flower and water and praying, Krishna, give me intelligence, how can I serve you nice? Then Krishna says, yes, tesam nityavijuktāna.
When bhakti enters the heart of a person, then he becomes renounced from this world and gets spiritual knowledge. Krishna gives one the intelligence by which the devotee can return to him. Wearing a kantimala, chanting japa on the tulasi beads, and living in Vrindavan are activities of the intelligence. Through contact with tulasi, when one surrenders to Krishna and does not play bhakti like an actor on stage, one can make rapid spiritual progress. Srila Prabhupada said that Tulasi Kantimala is like a dog's collar. This means we have a host. Those who do not wear Tulasi are like street dogs that no one takes care of. But we feel the care of Krishna and wearing Tulasi around our neck, and it's an evidence of our devotion to him. When our devotion reaches the stage of Prema Bhakti, we will be able to see Krishna face to face. In order to hasten this day, our acharyas recommend to do our sadhana in Vrindavan. So I humbly ask you, please come to Vrindavan. Krishna and Srimati Radharani are waiting for you.
Hare Radharani ki jai.
Sanatana Goswami had a little piece of touchstone. So one poor Brahmin, he worshipped Lord Shiva very seriously, and Lord Shiva asked him, what do you want? He said, sir, I am a very poor man, so give me some wealth so that I may be peaceful throughout my whole life. Then Lord Shiva directed him that you go to Vrindavan. There is one great devotee, Sanatana Goswami. He can give you that.
Ajnana-timirandasya jnananjana-shalakaya chakshurunmilitam jena tasmai Shri Gurave Namah.
Srila Prabhupada told this story on March 25th in 1968 in San Francisco. It hasn't been even 2 years since the foundation of ISKCON, and his audience was quite beginner devotees. However, Srila Prabhupada didn't wait his disciples to become saints. From the very beginning, he was guiding them to the path of pure devotional service to Radha and Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rāma, Hare Rāma, Rāma Rāma, Hare Hare.
A devotee should have no other desire than the desire to serve Krishna. And if we even theoretically accept this idea, we can have a chance to get Krishna Prem and reach Goloka Vrindavan. Many people worship Mahadev for material blessings. And in this story we can see that the Lord Shiva himself advises the Brahmin to go to Vrindavan and meet Sanatana Goswami.
So he went to Vrindavan and met Sanatana Goswami and told him that I have come to you under the direction of Lord Shiva. I worship Lord Shiva very successfully, and I prayed from him some sources of my happiness. So he has directed me to see you, that you have got that thing. Please give me that.
Many people do not understand what to ask a sadhu for. Often people ask for blessings, for happy life in material world. And a sadhu is a person who have renounced material life. They have renounced this world because there is no real happiness here. And if a person comes to a sadhu asking for material blessings, it is the same as searching for a piece of broken glass instead of a diamond.
Sanatana Goswami said, well, what can I give you? Oh, all right. Can you find out some stone in that garbage? There was heaps of garbage, and the man searched out and found out a stone. Said, do you mean to say this stone? Yes, yes. So what is this? This is touchstone. You take it and touch to iron, it will become gold. Oh, you are very good.
The Brahmin received from Sanatana a stone which can turn iron into gold. And in the eyes of the Brahmin, Sanatana became a very good man. If a sadhu gives material benedictions, then for materialist, sadhu becomes an object of worship. But Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that this world is dukkhalaya and ashashvatam. It is temporary and full of miseries. If the sadhu tells the truth that the person cannot be truly happy in this world, such materialist will not associate with the sadhu. And the funny thing that the same person will endure insults from his wife and continue live with her, despite the fact that she is unhappy with him and constantly humiliates him. But if a holy person quotes Bhagavad Gita, he will not want to see him. Somehow or other, this Brahmin received from Sanatana Goswami a stone by which he can turn iron into gold. In material terms, he received everything he wanted, but soon he thought, why did Sanatana keep such a valuable thing in a pile of garbage? And he thought that he must have something more valuable.
But he thought that Lord Shiva directed that Sanatana Goswami has the greatest benediction. I do not think this stone is greatest benediction because it was blessed with garbage. So he came back and appealed to Sanatana Goswami that Lord Shiva told me, you have got something most valuable. I don't think this stone is most valuable. Otherwise, why would you keep it with the garbage? You must have something more valuable. So, you must give me that, because Lord Shiva directed me to receive from you. Then Sanatana Goswami told him, would you like to take that? Yes, sir. I have come for that purpose. So he asked me, first of all, throw away the stone in the Jamuna river. So he threw away the stone. Sit down.
and chant Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Forget everything. Sit down with me and chant Hare.
After this story, the disciples of Srila Prabhupada asked him, did he do this? And Srila Prabhupada said, yes, because this Brahman, he received the blessings of Lord Shiva and association with Sanatana Goswami. Thanks to Sadhu Sangha, his life was purified and changed 180 degrees. With good association, everything is possible.
A sadhu, the first qualification is he must be a staunch devotee of Krishna. Therefore, sadhu sangha means to associate with devotees, those who are devotees of Krishna. That is sadhu sangha. Sadhu sangha is very important. If we can associate with real sadhu, means real devotee, then the recommendation is that simply by associating with sadhu, all perfection will come. By simply association. Sadhu sangha, sarva shastre ko, lobo matra sadhu sangha, Svarupa-siddhi.
For many years, I have seen many people come into Vrindavan, and I asked them, how do you feel here? And everyone said the same thing. I like it here. I feel so peaceful. There are so many devotees around. Of course I love it. And then I asked, so how about to stay here? And everyone said, no. So you like Vrindavan? Yes. Stay in Vrindavan? No. Why? Because people have so many other material desires. And Srila Prabhupada taught his disciples how to worship Tulasi Devi with his bhajana. Moreya bilash vilas kunja diyavas, nayane hari basada yugala ruparashi. My only desire is to settle in pleasure groves of Vrindavan Dham and constantly contemplate the beautiful pastimes of Radha and Krishna. But unfortunately for us it's just words. We have so many material desires and just few spiritual ones. And this is because we associate with materialists more than with the devotees. Reading newspapers, watching movies, checking the news in the internet, this all is association with materialists, by which our heart becomes filled with unfulfillable material dreams. Therefore, one must not only sing Moreya bilash vilas kunja diyavas with his lips, but also call on Tulasi with all his heart and pray, the only thing I want is to live in Vrindavan and serve Radha and Krishna. If you want to be truly devoted to Krishna, please come to Vrindavan. Krishna and Srimati Radharani are waiting for you.
Yogamaya means that which connects you. Yoga means connection. When you are being gradually advanced in Krishna consciousness, that is the action of Yogamaya. And when you are gradually forgetting Krishna, that is the action of Mahamaya. The Maya is acting upon you. The one is dragging you, and one is pushing you, opposite way.
Ajnana-timirandasya jnananjana-shalakaya chakshurunmilitam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namah.
There are two kinds of illusion, Yoga Maya and Mahamaya. Under the influence of Mahamaya, living being forgets about Krishna. This is an energy that enslaves living being and brings him suffering. Yoga Maya is a spiritual illusion. Under the influence of Yoga Maya, a living being becomes connected with Krishna.
When I am being gradually
advance in Krishna consciousness, that is the action of Yogamaya. And when you are gradually forgetting Krishna, that is the action of Mahamaya.
The madness of this world is that living being bound hand and foot considers himself independent and constantly fights for his freedom. However, our position is to be a servant. If the person doesn't want to serve God, he will serve the dog. He will always be in control and serve others. The idea of domination and independence is the biggest illusion. But this illusion is both material and spiritual. Under the influence of material illusion, the person considers himself the master of this world and he suffers as a result. And then under the influence of the spiritual illusion, he considers himself a friend, parent, or a lover of Krishna and experiences great happiness. We will always be forced to obey the laws of God. A person cannot live the way he wants. We cannot stop breathing. The air is essential for our life. It is useless to challenge the accepted order. This will only be worse for us. The word Maya is translated as illusion, and also the word Maya is translated as mother. Mother can be in different moods. If the child behaves well, she will be kind to him. But if the child doesn't want to study well, or he does the wrong things, then she will be very strict. What form of Maya influences us depends on our actions.
You are always under the laws of government. You cannot deny. If you say, I don't agree to abide by the laws of government, that is not possible. But when you are a criminal, you are under the police laws, and when you are a gentleman, you are under the civil laws. The laws are there. In any situation, you have to obey the laws of government. If you remain as a civilized citizen, then you are always protected by the civil law. And as soon as you are against the state, the criminal law will act upon you. So the criminal activities of law is Mahamaya, threefold miseries, always putting in some sort of misery. And the civil department of Kṛṣṇa, Anandamudi Vardhanam, is simply go on increasing the depth of the ocean of joy. Anandamudi Vardhanam. That is the difference, Yogamaya and Mahamaya.
Then why Yogamaya is an illusion? The point is that in Goloka Vrindavana, no one considers Krishna to be the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Mother Yashoda puts Krishna on her laps instead of placing him on the altar and praying, "Oh my Lord." Srila Prabhupada explained that Yogamaya is an energy that on the one hand allows you to see Krishna, but on the other hand does not allow you to understand his supreme position. This is necessary for Krishna's happiness, because he doesn't want Vrajavasis to worship him. He doesn't want them to be afraid of him. He needs only their love. Krishna is the original father of everyone, but under the influence of Yogamaya, Yashoda considers him her son, friends treat him as equals, and beautiful Vraja gopis are in love with him because he is the best fellow in Vrindavana. Under the influence of Yogamaya, Vrajavasis can see Krishna, but do not understand that he is God, and this gives them the opportunity to love him, instead of bow down before him in awe and reverence. Such mood is only possible in Golok Vrindavan, and in order to get there, one must follow the path of bhakti, perform sadhana. However, In this world, many people lead a materialistic lifestyle. They worship the material energy, which appears in the form of Durga Devi. However, Durga Devi is a part of original Shakti of Krishna. Durga is a partial manifestation of Srimati Radharani. If you want to break a circle of life and death, you must take a protection of Srimati Radhika. By the mercy of our Swamini, Srimati Radharani, it is possible to start the real life, full of eternity, knowledge and bliss.
Yogamaya, the original Yogamaya, is Krishna's internal potency, that is Radha. And Mahamaya is external potency, Durga. Durga is the superintending goddess of this whole material world. Everything is going on under her control. Prakriti is energy. Energy is accepted as feminine. Just like these materialistic persons, they are also working under some energy. What is that energy? The sex life, that's all. If a person who is working in the factory, if you stop sex, he cannot work. Here in the material world, the energy is sex. And in the spiritual world, the energy is love. Here, the love is misrepresented in sex. That is not love, that is lust. Love is only possible with Krishna, nowhere else. Nowhere else love is possible. There is misrepresentation of love, that is lust. So love and lust. Love is Yogamaya and lust is Mahamaya.
Everyone wants love, but vast majority are content with lust. Lust is just a cheap fake. For example, everyone wants to have an expensive phone from Apple or Samsung, but not everyone can afford it. And that's why many people just agree with the cheap analogs and they justify themselves, creating their philosophies that there is no point in buying an expensive phone, that there is no point in overpaying. But all these ideas are only because of the lack of money. Similarly, we are spiritually poor. We cannot enter the realm of spiritual love, and therefore we are satisfied with only material lust. Instead of searching for the relationship with Krishna, a girl is looking for a husband made of flesh and bones. This is just a cheap fake, but the spiritually poor jiva believes that there is no point in making efforts and continues to live and suffer in this material world. Under the influence of Mahamaya, we play different roles. Now I'm a wife, and then I will be a husband, and I can be born as a cow or a street dog. Millions of lives. Again and again we are born in this world in different forms of life and experience suffering. This is the price for our stupidity. But now we have the opportunity to start the real spiritual life. We can get rid of the influence of Mahamaya. We have a chance. That's why I humbly ask you, please come to Vrindavan. Krishna and Srimati Radharani are waiting for you.